So, welcome to the monthly meeting of the Brew Robotics Club. My name is Osman Arel. I'm the secretary and treasurer of the club. Are there any new people here tonight to be here for the first time? Wow, quite a few. Thanks very much for coming. Did you hear about us at Maker Faire? Yeah, yes. No, you weren't about us. Well, thanks for coming. So the way the meetings work is that at the beginning of the meeting, we'll talk a little bit about club news. If anybody has any robotics-related news, we'll do a quick overview of what happened at Maker Faire. Then we have show and tell for the first hour of the meeting, where if anybody brought a robot-related project, even if it's not working, you can bring it up, show everybody. It's good for people to see these projects, even if they're not finished, so that people can get an idea of what other people are working on, and you can get help and advice at the same time. We've got quite a few events coming up this year, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Challenge competitions, camp, we'll talk about that. And then at approximately 8 o'clock, after we finish the show and tell, we have a presentation this evening from Mayfield Robotics. Are the people from Mayfield here? Yes, excellent. Thanks very much for coming. So they'll talk about, for about an hour. Okay. So the Mayfield folks will talk for about an hour and show us their amazing new robot that they're working on. And then about 9 o'clock, after the presentation, we kind of mill around, do some informal talking until we get kicked out at 10 o'clock. One thing that I want to make sure is that everybody has a badge. The rule is very important, and don't wander off into any areas between here and the entrance. Google's very generous to let us use their facility, but it's very important that we respect their space. If you need to use the restroom, there is one between here and where you came in. And I think that's about it. So, some of you here heard about us at Maker Faire. I did not go to Maker Faire. Was anybody at Maker Faire? Cam?
Nobody.
Do you want to?
What? You had to ask if camp was at Maker Faire. Can't have Maker Faire.
That's right. Camp does a wonderful job organizing a lot of activities for the club, including our presence at Maker Faire. So thanks a lot. For those who weren't at Maker Faire, can you talk a little bit about what happened?
Sure. Okay. I'd like to thank very much Ralph Campbell, Mark Johnson, John and John, the Erickson and Carlini, and Griswold, Marco, that's the one I want. Anyways, so we had a wonderful time. They now have the robot tent. And so all the robots, Dan Albert.
Thank you, I thought.
And Karen mostly. We don't care about you, we just glad you brought your robot. So they have a new, and Mark Womack too. They have a robot tent, and it was great, except that it was 90 degrees. Yeah. And but we survived, and it's actually, it was fortuitous because we have bigger robots. And I walked through our nice, cool, air-conditioned space back when we owned the world, and I realized that we've really outgrown that space. We couldn't have run robots out around there or anything. And so, the robot tent's where it's at, and I suspect on, May 20th, in general, the temperature's going to be perfect. It's going to be about 72 degrees, and it's going to be nice being outside. So, the first year was, it was a scorcher. But like I say, we survived. We had a great time. Anybody here specifically from a Maker Faire contact? From the Maker Faire contact? Well, I find that incredible because we passed out 1,000 cards, and I almost expected 200 people showing.
No, we did have people raise their hands.
People, okay, who hasn't been here before, saw us at the Maker Faire and came because we were at Maker Faire? Show of hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there you are. Okay, good. I thought that was. Marco Walthall made these wonderful homebrew robotics club business cards in a homebrewed box. And what were there? Was that 1,000 or 500 cards?
500.
500. Okay, we gave out 250 on Saturday and the other 250 on Sunday. And so thank you very much for those who participated.
Hey,
and you guys that are here, we have a mailing list. We have a. You saw our website. Join our mailing list, and welcome to the club. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming again. So, anybody can come to the club meetings, participate in our mailing lists, show robots. You don't have to be an official member. If you decide, after a few months that you like the club and want to make a contribution, we do have dues, which are $2 a year, and that covers the entire family. So, and that's for things like printing flyers, buying equipment sometimes that we might need for shows or to help with the meetings here. Okay, so let's see, other club news. So this club is a club for builders. We like to build robots, not just talk about them. And so we have some events throughout the year that help people or help encourage people to build robots. And it's really hard to just go out and say, hey, I want to build a robot. So we have what we call challenges. They give you a goal, something to aspire to. And it makes it much easier to build a robot if you know that it has a specific purpose. So the challenge that we have in our club, we've been running a couple of them for the past 2 years. The main one is the Tabletop Challenge. Is that the official name of it, Cam?
Table Bot Challenge.
Table Bot Challenge.
Go with it, Osmond.
Okay.
You're doing fine.
The Table Bot Challenge. So that starts actually next month. So we have 3 phases of the Table Bot Challenge. And the goal is to design a robot that can move around on the table. And the first phase of the challenge is to be able to go from one end of the table to the other. The second phase of the challenge is to be able to find an object that's on the table and push it off the table. And then the third phase of the challenge is to be able to push that object into a goal. And it's up to you, how you want to design the challenge. It's really all about what makes it exciting for you. And it's not a competition. So it's open to everybody. If you've never built a robot before, it's a really good way to start. And if you come next month, you'll see some of the robots.
And don't forget to run what you brung. It's like you don't build robots for these particular challenges, you bring your robot, okay? And if you're not building robots, you're not clear on the concept.
Yeah, don't be embarrassed if it's not finished. If it, you just, if it goes in a straight line,
while they're presenting.
So yes.
We do not stand on feng shui.
Pardon?
Oh, feng shui. Feng shui, we do not stand on feng shui.
Okay. So one of the other challenges that we've been running is the line maze challenge. Ralph is not here. Ralph runs the line maze challenge. Basically, we place a bunch of floor tiles with a line on them, and the robot has to find its way from one end of the line maze to the other end. And we started that a couple years ago, and it's been quite successful. So that's another way that you can build a robot and bring it to the club. The Table Bot Challenge has been running for quite a few years now, and we've been trying to think of some ways to kind of extend the challenge to perhaps include some other types of robots. So Table Bot Challenge is a core to this group, so that's gonna stay. But there might be some other challenges that we're gonna be adding.
Don't forget the 4-Bot Challenge. I've been trying to kick off the 4-Bot Challenge. The Table Bot Challenge, which Osmond mentioned, and if I may briefly, has 3 phases. Phase 1, build a robot that goes from one end of the table to the other and back. Phase 2, have the robot push a block off the edge of the table. Phase 3, have the robot move the block into a shoebox mounted at the end of the table. We don't necessarily do the phase 1, 2, and 3 in June, August, and October like we initially did. It's like you bring your robot in and have it do whatever phase it does, okay? Just have your robot do it. Now, 4-Bot Challenge, First thing, what is a floor bot? A floor bot is a robot that's too big for the table, but I'm the phase one is to go from one end of the room to the other and back. Phase two is to identify an object in the room, and phase three is to fetch that object. So, I mean, these are just some general challenges that we throw out that you can build too, but I come back to my original plea is that bring your robot, okay? And if you're not building robots, you're not clear on the concept here. Thank you.
Yeah, so for those of us who have been in the club for a year, for a few years, and have done these challenges already, you know, we've been looking for some ways to expand it, and Chris has some ideas. So we haven't exactly finalized everything, but certainly like to hear what you have come up with.
Okay. For two reasons. One, as he just mentioned, a lot of people have already done the tabletop challenge and they went, what's next? And we want to encourage people to keep building robots, not just build the first low-end entry robot you can and then stop. So a number of suggestions came out, and I'm kind of opening this up to the whole group. So if you're on the mailing list, which I have up here, there's a thread called HBRC Games. And this is where we've proposed a number of different challenges. And you can just read this thread to get up to speed. In here, I added a link to a Google Drive where we can keep documents. And also one of the additions is, it's kind of nice to come up here and do your tabletop challenge, but all you get is applause. And people were saying, I want something, I want a certificate, or I want a trophy, or I want a medal. So we're going to start off and we're going to do a certificate. And I came up with a mock certificate, but I'm a programmer, I'm not a graphic artist, so I want to show you my purposefully hairy gorilla arm version. And I open this up to you. Anybody who wants to, please work on this. Come up with a proposal, put it on the drive, and then we will print these out and give certificates to people. So here's the link right here. I'm going to click on that. And that should, and it's open to everybody, so everybody has read-write privileges to this. The first thing I want to do is show some of the proposed new challenges. And this is open to what do you guys want to build a robot to do. So we already have the tabletop challenge, and sort of the maze bot is sort of a line follower, but doing a maze is a little bit more difficult than following a line. And sorry that I'm having difficulty with my mouse. But we want to do multiple challenges. Balance bots, something that is easy to do, something that would be an incremental improvement to the bot you've already just done the last challenge to. And then we want to get into complex things for people who've been here for a while. So if people are interested in doing bipeds and biped racing. A lot of this was looking at what RoboGames has, and people were saying, I don't want to wait a year to go do that in RoboGames. So this gives you a chance to test it out here first, and then you can go get the official medal at RoboGames. Floor challenges. RoboMagellan is popular, and then it's a simple incremental change to get your RoboMagellan robot to actually pick up and return objects, so the sample return challenge. So these are some proposals. And the idea is each one of these, like the tabletop challenge, will come in 3 flavors, you know, easy, medium, and advanced. So let me go back to the certificates. So the certificates, rather than get a certificate for each level, we'll have little stars and then an official of HBRC, one of the officers can sign it. And then the idea is collect all 3. So if you have a certificate with 1 star on it, there's some incentive to get those other 2 stars. This is just a quick mock-up I threw together in 5 minutes. But I think some other people have already taken this and come up with some other ideas. Of course, the officers will bless which version they want or like the best. So go ahead, see how creative you can get. Edit these, make your own from scratch. One thing that I noticed is there's no room on this one for the officers to sign. But the idea is we want the official signature. But these are all good ideas. Oh, this is a change. They put the little logo up in the right corner.
We need that.
We need the logo. I think that's it. Well, on mine, I just stole the bottom banner. I just took that right off the HBRC website. That's your logo. Okay, so I think this person who made this version, I think just pasted that out. Is that the same thing up there in the corner? But you get the idea. So we want people to have these certificates. Now, there's also a thought, if you collect all the certificates and do all 8 challenges and all 3 levels, which is 24 challenges, you would be considered a master roboticist. And we're thinking of a large trophy. Hopefully that those will be really rare. Because they'll probably be some expense. We want it to look really nice. But the idea is to encourage you not just build a robot, but to keep building robots. Collect all the certificates, get the cool trophy, and that'll be definitely worth something putting on your resume. So please, edit this document, put in your suggestions for what challenges you think you might want to do. Please fix and make a good version of the certificate, one that you would be proud to have. And that's it. Are there any questions? Yes.
I think we should have training.
Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, that'd be good.
So, at Robo Games, I run the humanoid, and I didn't realize Chris was going to do humanoid stuff, but it kind of ties into something that I wanted to bring up, is that Dave Calkins, who runs Robo Games, has at least a half-dozen humanoid robots that I have convinced him to actually pull out of his garage and maybe possibly donate them to people who want to actually work on them. These are the $1,000 units, and so if you're interested, see Chris, and Chris will sign you up, and then he and I will get in touch with you and see if we can get your robot.
Is it those high-tech robots?
Correct. And they were very expensive at the time. They're 10 years old now, but they're still great robots. And there's 16 degrees of freedom, and they walk and they flip over and handstands and things like that. So if you're interested in tuning them up and competing in a stair, I have the stair case for doing the stair climb, and we can put it as part of the challenge, and let's get going so that next year at Robo Games we have a large entry from HBRC.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that sounds great. And one other thing we could do, I will volunteer to print out special badges for people who achieve some sort of merit to be determined later. Maybe like a gold badge or star on your badge or something.
Signed photo of Oz.
Well, to go from nothing to the certificates might be sufficient, but I don't know, how many people would like a special badge too? I mean,
Yeah, wear it.
will that get you guys building more robots?
Yeah, the badges would be on.
Perfect, great idea.
All right.
Of course, so
Whatever it takes to get people merit badge. So thanks a lot, Chris. We'll continue to keep everybody updated, and I guess we need to decide probably by next month when the challenges typically start.
Well, because the challenges are starting next month, if you want to do one of the challenges listed, just kind of show up with a robot that does that, and you'll earn your first certificate. We haven't formalized the definitions just yet, but it's meant to be fun and flexible, so we'll work with you. Yes?
I really liked your idea of having a puzzle, and each challenge gets you a part of the puzzle.
That was one idea. The trophy would be 8 pieces that would fit together to build some cool robot. Again, I have a 3D printer, but I don't have a good enough imagination to be able to design such a thing. So that's why I want to open it up to the club. Do some research, find the cool trophy that you want to get, suggest it, and then as a group, I guess we'll vote on it, and that will be our trophy. But I do like the fit together.
Yeah, that's a great idea
type.
too. I like that.
Don't we have a robot icon on our website, and couldn't we make a trophy that looks like that?
We could. The robot icon is just something that was kind of pulled out of the internet somewhere. It's not really designed for the club. But it would be nicer if we had something that was kind of like more, had our logo on it or something more
Picture of
closely related
Yeah,
to
there you
it. But, Yeah, we'll continue on. So thanks a lot, Chris. Just quickly, one other event that we're hoping to do this year is a picnic. Most likely that will be in September on the weekend. One of the issues that we have with this particular venue, although it's great for indoor robots, is we can't accommodate outdoor robots. And there's a lot of people who are working on outdoor robots. The Robo Magellan competition at the last Robo Games was extremely popular. So we want a venue where people can run outdoor robots. So we're going to try and plan a weekend picnic probably in September. Date to be determined. Did you have a question?
Oh, I was just asking, the trophy you're talking about is like one trophy at the end of all the challenges, or is it like given in like parts? So if it's going to be like connecting
What would you
together.
like to see? Yeah?
I think it would be better if you got one part each challenge, so you'll be more, you'll have a better goal to reach.
Right. If you get one each time, then you want to keep going until you get the whole thing, right? Great idea.
Yeah, like
Yes.
Is our next meeting also the potluck?
Yeah,
Yes.
potluck, yeah.
Potluck.
Potluck. Next month we meet an hour earlier at 6 p.m. Potluck dinner. That's karma points for robot-themed foods.
You
get a certificate?
Certificate, I'll do robot cupcakes.
Robot cupcakes? I'm liking what I'm hearing. I'll give you a certificate if you bring robot cupcakes. And the potluck is actually one of our most popular meetings. So we usually get really good turnout, and we get used to this whole grassy area out here as well. So we get a lot of outdoor robots.
Mentioned that it starts earlier.
Yes, it starts at 6 p.m. We'll send out a message to the list quickly. Alan.
And I'm trying to move the SIG to Tech Shop Mid-Peninsula, which is in Redwood City. So hopefully people who live north won't have to go as far.
Do you want to say what the SIG is?
The SIG is, we meet the week before this meeting, and we used to call it the Builder's SIG, so it's for people who are just bringing robots that they wanted to hack on. But lately, it's been mutated into the SV Ross SIG. So for those people who are interested in SV Ross.
Ross is our special interest.
Ross is our special interest group. And Tech Shop has some advantages, one of which is their Wi-Fi is open, unlike Hacker Dojo, where you can't do point-to-point.
Yeah, I remember when we used to meet at the Tech Shop. It was always a great venue. Yeah.
So what you're saying is we're moving the HBRC SIG to Redwood City at the Tech Shop, and we're allowed
That's
to...
what we're trying to do.
Oh, okay.
I'm in negotiation.
Greg Maxwell's leaving. He's going up to Seattle.
with Tacoma. And we're also trying to
Washington, I meant to say.
We're trying to figure out exactly how SV Ross, which is independent and has, I think it's 10 dues-paying members, how we, mutate that.
Okay, so when you figure something out, you'll send a message to the list, right?
Yes.
Alan? Yes.
Gloria's going to keep these
We were volunteering you, Alan.
guys. What?
You'll find out.
We're negotiating.
All right, any other robot-related news or club news?